This is the Louie Tee Network.
Who else could it be but me, your me, Louie T? Welcome to Lockdown Coverage, week number 12 in the National Football League. The Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals in a little bit of AFC North family business. You know how it goes. If those two teams said they ain't did it, then they ain't did it. But if they did, well, that's family business. So we're going to jump into this breakdown here in a second. But first, if you haven't already done so, what are you waiting on? Subscribe to the Louie Tee Network for more great content in 2016 and beyond. We're changing the game over here. Looking to help me do that? Simply hit the red subscribe button on YouTube to help me change the game. A lot of great content over here and a lot of participation from you, the fans and viewers out there. So again, join us, join in on the fun. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Louie Tee Network. Also on Twitter, @InTheLabRoom is the Twitter handle. Again, if you want to keep tabs on this channel, on what's going on, when I'm going live, when I'm uploading a video, that's the best way to do it, @InTheLabRoom on Twitter. Turn on those notifications and you will be filled in as to when entertainment and action is happening on this channel. And also, I'm on Facebook. In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. Go ahead and give me that thumbs up. All of my social media platforms are scrolling above, so you cannot miss them. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, like the Facebook page, and first and foremost, make sure you subscribe to the Louie Tee Network on YouTube. With that being said, let's jump into this breakdown quickly. Ravens at home hosting the downtrodden and banged up, all of a sudden, Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals really one of those teams just looking to spoil things now at this point in the season. We already know they're not competing for anything meaningful this year. So this was an opportunity to go to Baltimore and really hurt the Ravens. Steelers get the win on Thursday, take the lead in the division. A win here by the Bengals would give the Ravens a really huge detrimental blow to their hopes of winning this division. And only one team coming out of this division, one bid division this season. Normally, this is a division can sneak 2 or 3 possibly teams into the playoffs. Not going to be the case this year. The only team getting in is the one that wins the division. So this is a big game for the Ravens at home. Let's start with the likes, dislikes, banana and tailpipe. Of course, we start with the likes in the first half of the visiting team, that being the Cincinnati Bengals in this game. A Dunlap with a deflection of the football. It's then picked off by Ray Maluga on the play, giving the Cincinnati Bengals a 1st and 10 from the Baltimore 19. So a huge play early on in that ball game, or at least in the, I want to say, second quarter of this ball game. Nothing really happening in terms of scoring. So if you're a Cincinnati, this is a golden opportunity to go and get 7. They would not take advantage of that. They would ultimately settle for a field goal. Again, these are the types of things that if you're going to win, you're going to win on the road, you're going to have to score touchdowns. And this has been the bugaboo of the Cincinnati Bengals all season long, the inability to score touchdowns in the red zone. It started in week 1, and we've talked about this all season long, and I know a lot of Bengals fans kept telling me, hey, just wait until Tyler Eifert comes back. He's going to fix our red zone woes. That hasn't been the case. They're still struggling to score in the red zone. Here's another opportunity to get in the end zone, and they failed to do so. Those were my only likes, or that was the only like in the first half for this Cincinnati Bengals team. They did not do a lot of good things in the first half, or really in the game for that matter. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but let's jump into the Ravens and their first half likes in this game. Start to the game was on my likes list. 10-0 start. Would have been an even better start had a play been made by Eric Weddle. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But the young guns, I like the youngins early in this game. You get some contributions from Dixon at the running back position. Thought he was really big for you in this game. And if you can start to get something out of him, then you sprinkle in a little bit of, wake up, Mr. West, Terrence West. And then you start getting some other contributions from some of your other youngins. Okay, I saw Waller with a nice catch and run on a little screen that they set up for him. And then you get the Perriman touchdown early, so the young guys starting to really mature right before your very eyes. His second career touchdown, and both of his touchdowns have come in divisional play, so he's stepping up against the teams that he needs to step up against in the division. Perriman with a nice catch back of the end zone, great throw by Flacco. So early on, I felt like the youngins really started to contribute, and you get off to the 10-0 start. For a Ravens team that struggles to score 10 points right off the bat, first 2 possessions, you got to like that if you're the Baltimore Ravens. Fumble recovery after the Flacco interception. So you get the interception. And matter of fact, I talked about the Bengals getting a field goal off. They didn't get anything off of that as they were able to force a fumble there in the red zone. After the sudden change of possession, you turn around and you get the fumble. And so you negate the interception that Flacco threw with the deflected football. So this Ravens defense stepping up, making some big plays all game long. And that's what you got to do. And it was a bad snap, bad exchange from, and we'll talk about that when we get to the dislikes in the first half for the Bengals, but a bad center quarterback exchange on the shotgun snap. And it just turned out to be a turnover. And those are the things that bad teams do. And this Cincinnati Bengals team, for the first time in a long time, classifies as a bad football team. Challenge of the Bengals first down. This was another one of those situations where the Bengals shot themselves in the foot. Ravens take advantage of it. So Bengals call a timeout. For what reason? Don't know. I think the players on the field understood that was a bad spot and that they had the advantage there and they were going to get a free first down. So they run up to the line. They're going to snap it. And Marvin Lewis's like, hey, what are you guys doing? Calls a timeout. And it allows the Ravens to then take a look and say, hey, he never made it to the 17-yard line. That's where the first down marker is. Let's challenge this. They do, and they ultimately are able to force the Cincinnati Bengals to punt the football. So good challenge there by the Ravens staff, getting an opportunity to look at it a little closer with the timeout being spent by the Bengals, which allowed them to then challenge and win and force a punt on 4th and inches. Justin Tucker is the final like in the first half. And I love this guy, man. Just incredible is what I call him. And he's nothing short of that. 3 50-yard field goals in the first half of this game. He was 4 of 4 on the afternoon. Big time kicks for him all day long. He was really the offense for the Ravens in this game. And it's such a weapon when you get past midfield and you tell your look, Flacco, if you don't have it and it's 3rd and 7, get rid of it. We're going to kick a 57-yard field goal. Don't worry about it. We're good. That's such a luxury for a head coach. Most teams in the league don't dare to send their kicker out there for a 57-yard field goal. Hell, 54 yards is a lot for most teams. They're like, nah, I'm not going to send my kicker out there for that. I'm going to punt the football. The Ravens are like, hey, man, we're in field goal range. Don't do anything stupid. Don't get sacked. Don't knock us out. 57 is well within his range, and he bangs it home. This guy is incredible. First kicker in NFL history to knock home 3 50-yard field goals in the first half of an NFL game. Justin Tucker, the best in the league right now, bar none. This is the guy that you want kicking the football in any situation. First quarter, second quarter, game on the line. He's the guy that I'm choosing 10 times out of 10 to deliver the football through the uprights. This guy is a weapon of epic proportions for this Baltimore Ravens football team, and he proved it again. 2 big, huge bombs, one from 54, another from 57. 3 first half 50-plus yard field goals in this game. He ultimately ended up 4 of 4 on the afternoon, accounting for 12 of the Ravens' 19 points in this game. You go to the dislikes for these two teams in this game, and we go back to the first half, and we go back to Cincinnati. Dalton and Bodine with the shotgun snap fumble exchange. It's a simple situation. He gets tapped, does Bodine, which on the road signals, hey, I'm ready for the football. And Dalton's not ready. He's barking out orders, and he's trying to get everything set up. And the ball hits him in the chest. He bobbles it up into the air. It's then recovered by the Ravens. So it's just a situation where your defense forces a turnover, gives you prime field position, and you go right back and give it to them. And that's what, like I said, a 3-7-1 team does. They find ways to lose ball games, and that's a prime example of that right there with Cincinnati wasting and squandering an opportunity to score points there after the turnover was forced by the defense. And then the Bengals calling a timeout inexplicably to allow the Ravens to then challenge a play that they would have been able to get a snap off, and the Ravens would have allowed them to have that free first down. So, again, just a little bit of a blunder there by the coaching staff. Don't know why they called the timeout, but it did hurt them, and they ultimately had to punt. Not to say that anything would have come of that drive anyhow, but, again, you don't know in this league what happens after you get a first down. That's why you just want to get a first down, and you were deep in your own territory there, so you didn't want to punt at that exact location. And so, again, just one of those situations where you go, why did you do that? But that's nor here nor there at the end of the day. You go to the Ravens' first half dislikes. Eric Weddle dropping an interception on the second possession of the game. Cincinnati actually gets a field goal on that possession. If he catches that football, remember, they're off to the 10-0 start. He catches that interception. He's got some space to run. No telling if they don't go score again and really blow the doors off of the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, that's the type of play that can shut the door on a bad football team right there. You get that pick. They're already down 10-0. Let's say he returns it to midfield, and all of a sudden Flacco and that offense takes it down the field. And let's say they get into the end zone again, and it's 17-0, or you get another 10 yards, and you set up for another Justin Tucker field goal, and now it's 13-0 to start this game. This game is over. It's done. Instead, Weddle, who has had trouble holding on to the football this year, this is why they brought him here from San Diego, to make these plays, not making plays. Had an opportunity versus the Raiders, had an opportunity earlier in the season to make another play. He's not catching the football. Don't know what's wrong with him, because throughout his career, that's been one of the things you could count on from Eric Weddle, is making plays in the secondary. Hasn't done that this season. Here's another example of that, dropping an interception and allowing Cincinnati to move it down the field when they were struggling and get a field goal and make it 10-3 in this game. And then Flacco has a pass deflected and intercepted. We talked about that already. Great play at the line of scrimmage by the Cincinnati Bengals. Dunlap getting his arm in the passing lane, batting it in the air. Ray Malaluga picking it off. But the defense would rise to the occasion, get a stop, and the Cincinnati Bengals would hand them a turnover with a botched snap. So that score at the half was 16-3. Let's go to the second half of this ball game, and we go back to the likes, and we go back to the Cincinnati Bengals. And the only like I have is Andy Dalton. Without Andy Dalton, this team would be putrid right now. I mean, they're a bad football team as it is, but he gives them an opportunity to stay in the ball game. He was harassed today, had a ton of passes batted down, yet he still took them down the field, used his legs a couple times to get him out of trouble, made some really good throws. The touchdown throw to Eifert in the back of the end zone, that's all Andy Dalton there. Without Andy Dalton, this team might be a 1-10 team right now. I mean, Andy Dalton is going to give them a chance down the stretch with no A.J. Green, with no Giovanni Bernard. He's going to give them an opportunity to stay in ball games. They're probably not going to win many of them, but Andy Dalton's going to give them a shot, and I think that's a testament to how good he is as a quarterback. He will make some boneheaded decisions, make some bad throws. There's some times where you'll scratch your head, but Andy Dalton gives them a chance. And he was my only like in the second half of this game. They don't even have a touchdown deficit here in the second half if not for Andy Dalton and his play in this game. You go to the Ravens and their second half likes. Tavon Young. He continues to impress me as a rookie corner. One time they had him matched up with Eifert. It was not a great throw, but still for him to be 5'9", going up against a 6'5" tight end, to be there in that play and make a play on that football, knock it away. Young was tested today. I thought he passed the test with flying colors. He continues to show why he's a guy that they trust out there at the cornerback position as a rookie. Tavon Young playing some good football. T. Sizzle, 2 forced fumbles in this game. I know one for sure. I think there was another one credited to him, but he was outstanding again, and he continues to defy time. I mean, this is a guy that has come off of a couple of major knee injuries, a couple of major surgeries throughout his career, continues to still play at a high level, and when they need a big play, he's a guy that delivers. Elvis Dumerville making his presence felt after missing a ton of time. He comes back, makes the play of the game at the end. So this defense making some plays. Speaking of which, Ravens D late is also on my likes list. Batted balls. How many of those did they have late in the ball game? Matt Judon getting his hands in the passing lanes. A lot of guys making some plays there down the stretch. So T. Sizzle with a batted ball there at the end. These guys were just relentless getting their hands on the football. And then finally, Elvis Dumerville with a sack, strip, forced fumble of Andy Dalton late in the game to seal this thing up as Guy is able to pounce on the football and get the win. So the Ravens defense, they bent, they never broke, and they made the plays at the end to give them this W, 19-12. As you go to the dislikes in the second half, you go back to Cincinnati. Mike Nugent missing the point after. This is getting old. He's a guy that I told you I don't really trust him in most situations. And that PAT was huge because if you make that PAT, that end of the game drive that Cincinnati was on would have been for the game-winning score, not the game-tying score. So it's little tidbits like that can cost you. And when you're 3-7-1, these are the types of plays that you don't make. And Mike Nugent, one of those inconsistent kickers that if I'm a team around the league, I'm looking to upgrade if I have a kicker like Mike Nugent on my team. And then it just hurts that much more looking across the field and seeing what Justin Tucker is doing for the Ravens and what your kicker fails to do for you week in and week out. And then finally, the second half dislikes for the Ravens. Albert McClellan with a hands to the face penalty on 3rd and 22. Why? Why? I mean, it's a simple situation. It's 30-22. They're not going to pick this up. Don't do anything foolish. He did. The Bengals may have gotten a field goal anyway. They were already in field goal range, but Mike Nugent isn't a good kicker, so don't make them have an opportunity to get any closer, and they did, and they ultimately got a field goal to make it 19-12. I would have loved to have seen Nugent come out and kick against the wind, may I add, from 47 yards or so. And I don't think he would have made the kick, to be honest with you. But that 5-yard penalty plus the extra yards they were able to pick up on that possession got them a lot closer, and Nugent was able to bang it home. And he barely went in. So, again, those are the types of plays you just don't want to see your players make. On 3rd and 22, don't make a boneheaded mistake like hands to the face and give up a free first down. But other than that, the Ravens get it done again. I got a couple of banana in the tailpipes. First with the Cincinnati Bengals. Marvin Lewis getting the pink slip after the season. I don't see it happen. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. I've thought he was going to get fired before. This season, you can actually blame the injuries and some of the lack of continuity, some of these young guys not performing the way that you thought they were going to. There are a lot of excuses you can make for him. He's not getting fired. And so I've come to that realization, not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, that because Cincinnati may only win 5 games this season, that he's going to get canned. I'm just not buying that. And also, banana in the tailpipe for the Ravens, winning this division. I just don't see them winning the AFC North. Here's why. They don't score enough points. I know I harp on this all the time. I know the defense is good, but they don't score enough points. And I think when it's all said and done, that game on Christmas Day, Ravens, Steelers, I think that's gonna where this division is gonna come down to play. If you can beat the Ravens, or excuse me, you can beat the Steelers on Christmas Day, then the division's yours. But I just don't see you scoring enough points to win enough games down the stretch to hold the Steelers off. I think they're gonna figure some things out. I think they're gonna get healthier, and I think they're gonna be a better team down the stretch than the Ravens are. And the fact that the Ravens struggle to score week in, week out bothers me to the point where I just don't see them being able to do enough to win this division. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe that they're going to win this division. They don't score enough points. Let's get to some of your comments. Andrew Kim says, Tucker, Ravens MVP, man, got paid and well worth every cent. I couldn't agree with you more. To me, by far the best kicker in the league. And when they franchised him, I said, pay that man his money. What are you waiting on? Okay, this guy's the best kicker in the league. He's a weapon. Pay the man. He got paid. And like Andrew Kim, my man AK said, he's worth every cent. He's a beast. Best kicker in the NFL. Easy. We'll check this out after I go to work. Just wanted to put that out there. No doubt, man. It will be here for you to watch when you get off of work. Captain Spartan 04 says, you really think the Bengals would help us Steelers? Nah. Well, you know they wanted to, but they just can't. They're not in a position to help anybody right now. They can't even help themselves right now. And Captain Spartan 04 says, Eric Weddle has much tape on his hands to catch the football. He needs those gloves to catch almost everything. He's been a tape the fingers guy his entire career, but maybe needs to put on the sticky gloves or something, because he's been dropping the football left and right this season. I know Ravens fans have to be a little disappointed in their investment in Weddle because of the lack of plays being made by him. He's had opportunities, hasn't been able to make those plays this season, and missed another opportunity in this game. But that's going to do it for me here on Lockdown Coverage. Ravens get the win, move to 6-5 on the season, reassume the lead dog position in the AFC North Division, have the tiebreaker over the Steelers, who are also 6-5. So they're going to battle it out down the stretch, but I just don't see the Ravens scoring enough points. But we'll see. I've been wrong before. Let's see if I'm wrong this time, but I'm not impressed with that offense. They still don't know how to score and finish drives. But that being said, they get the win here, 19-12, go to 6-5, take the lead back from the Steelers at 6-5 in this division. Meanwhile, Cincinnati struggles on the season continue. 3-7-1 now for the Cincinnati Bengals, and it's only going to get worse for this team as they're banged up and they're just not a really good football team. And they're going to struggle more as this season progresses, as they continue to struggle in 2016. That's going to do it for me here. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here on Lockdown Coverage on the Louie Tee Network. I'm your man, Louie Tee, signing off. I will see you guys later. We'll break down another game, Giants and Browns, a little bit later on, and then we'll knock down a couple of 4 o'clock matchups as well. So I'm going to be a busy man today. Of course, Sunday Night Football will be broken down as well. Huge AFC West matchup. Come back for that as well. I will see you a little bit later on. Remember, we're changing the game one live feed at a time. I will see you later on. Have a good one.